for bras, they have their money back. It is so simple, really. And, you know, tonight, or today I should say, at the Elk Rapids Curves that I was at up in northern Michigan, one of the employees, I actually spoke to the owner today about considering selling because she was talking about having to close down her facility in the afternoon because it was costing her too much money to be open and her membership was down. And I said, well, you know, Andrea, I don't have any bra fitters up here to my knowledge. I don't even know if there's anybody in the company up in this area. And if you sold the bras, then the women would come to you during your slow times for bra fittings, even if they're not coming as members of your curves. And she hemmed and hawed and said she didn't have any money. And then the afternoon shift, her other gal that was there that I fit back in November when I was up there was in, and I started talking to her about the business. And I said to Tracy, the employee that worked this afternoon, I said, well, you know, Tracy, you need to invest at least in a $200 kit, which is bare bones minimum that the company offers. There's no money made on that kit by the company, myself, or anyone else. It's just the company giving you your bras at wholesale rock bottom price. And I said I also encourage that you consider having a home party with your sister. She was trying to get her sister to come in to be fit today, but her sister was too tired and went home. And I said, well, I'm going to get back in touch with you, Tracy, and hopefully we can put together a home party before the end of February while the bras are on special. Well, 5 out of the 7, whatever. And you know, get you started. And I said, Tracy, do you know why my requirement is that you invest $200? And I had explained to her, you know, if she had a $500 show, her profit would be around $200. I said, but the only way that I will allow my commission that normally I take home to pay my bills with, I would allow you to keep that commission for bras. You would not be able to keep the money, but we would turn that cash that normally I would take home to pay my bills with into additional bras to go along with your $200 10 bra kit. And she's interested. She's thinking about it. Cross your fingers, say a prayer that I go back up there at the end of this month. Matter of fact, while I was sitting there talking to her about it, the Suttons Bay Curves called and said that there's 3 more members that want to be fit, so I have to come back up again. And I've talked to that owner about selling. So it's I received a call last week from a woman who has worn our bras for 10 years. I asked her if anyone has ever asked her to sell. Of course, her answer was no. I then explained to her, for the same amount of money she bought her 3 bras for, she could start her own business and get her bras at a substantial discount. So, ladies, she's thinking about it as well, and I guess my advice to everybody out there is just ask. You know, if they're buying 3 bras anyway at $225 or $200 or whatever, tell them that they could get started in their own business and buy their bras from then on out at wholesale. Thank you, Phyllis. That's all I've got.
Oh, very good. That was very creative, Deb. So in other words, you know, you didn't, when the lady said she didn't actually have the members and their membership was down, you went ahead and found another avenue for her to open up that would really help her maintain her business. That's very creative. Very, very good. And I think also you forgot to mention one thing that you had shared with me a little earlier about the lady in the library when you're using the phone over there. She was telling me that.
Yeah, well, Phyllis, how about if you tell the story? I was afraid I was out of time, so I stopped. You go ahead.
Go ahead and tell it. You were there. You lived it.
Okay.
You go.
Okay, well, I'm up here in Elk Rapids, Michigan. You've probably guessed by the name that I'm in the sticks. Anyway, I am on my way. I am on my lunch hour of the curves up here, so I came to the library to prepare for our conference call. The librarian approached me saying, you look like you have a lot to do. I better give you a few more minutes on the computer. they have their people on 30-minute timers, and you just get booted off. I, of course, asked her if she saw the ad in the Elk Rapids News about the fitting clinic today at Curves. She said no, and so I showed her the ad, and she said, oh, my goodness, that's me. So I invited her to stop in at the end of her shift. The moral of the story is to get out and talk to women. And that was it.
Well, that's very good, but that's it. That's another way. Here you were in a different location, and you still have chances to talk to people. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You talk to people. And that's why a salesman one time said at this big banquet, this was a story, it was way back, and they said, well, what do you attribute your success to? And he said, not much I did do, but all I can say is I went out and you see the people. And that's it. It's all that simple, really, in the final analysis. But being creative while you're seeing the people really pays off in the final analysis. So now here's Deb, who was in the library that opened up another avenue there. And wouldn't you know, if that librarian got started to fit in the bra, she would tell people around that she knows. And then that lady in the Curves, my goodness, she could get some of her members back in. Then every one of her members know other people, and then maybe they could get them in as members and bras. So it's a win-win. I mean, there's no other way to look at it, but it's a win-win situation. Thanks, Deb. I appreciate that so much. Okay, now I'd like to take you all the way down from the cold area, but down to the warmer area, which is Florida, the home of the Super Bowl from yesterday. And let's talk with an executive director down there who's really doing well with recruiting and building her business. And she's going to be bringing some people to our conference. So let's give a very warm welcome to Delaine Cronenberg. Delaine, are you there?
I am here.
Very good.
Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you for asking me to speak tonight. And I just want to add to something as far as speaking to the people. Last August, about 65 miles from where we live, there's a casino. And we drove up there, just spend the day, had never been there, wanted to check it out. And I started talking to the waitress in the buffet. And yes, she was interested in perhaps having a show. So I gave her my card, talked to her, came home, tried to call her, could not get in touch with her. Last month I managed to, now this was August, but last month I managed to connect with her. I went up this weekend, did a home show for her, sold just about $1,000 in product overall. But she is a waitress in the casino.
Aha! Very good.
She is interested in becoming a consultant. She's in the process of a move, so she wants to wait until she gets that done. But her potential clientele is amazing because she has this whole casino full of women, and it's awesome, just awesome. So if you have anyone that works in a large restaurant or a casino, good place to start. So I just wanted to add that little tidbit.
Thank you.
Well, Faye asked me to talk the same thing as Debbie about what I do to encourage or my consultants to invest in a larger collection. When I speak to my potential recruit, I always tell them what the business means to me, that obviously I'm in it to make money, but most importantly, or as equally as important, is that my business touches my heart. I share that with them. I share some of the experiences that I have with my ladies. And my recruits also share the need for a good supportive bra, and they know that they're not the only one out there that wants what I have to offer. I tell them that I believe every woman deserves to know that they have an option to have something other than what they're being forced to wear right now. And then I tell them about the business opportunity, about being able to purchase our product at 40% discount, the potential to make the personal purchase rebate volume. And I always start